It's not lost on me, and I'm sure many of the comments would keep this on record if I weren't to disclose this, that I'm approaching this franchise publicly at a much later date of its run. In fact, close to its conclusion, given that Fast X, as far as I'm aware, is the second to last entry before Chapter 11 wraps things all up, at least with the main line of movies. Whether or not this franchise extends beyond that, there's been some spin-off media in the TV market, the video game landscape. It probably has, a run that'll outlive the main franchise, but as far as the main story of what set up the entire Fast and Furious brand, as far as I'm aware, this is ending with Fast 11, or whatever they're going to call it. Again, the branding for these movies, film to film, is all over the place. And it's still a bit confusing, but I'm excited to hop on, again, for the 10th entry, and this will be my first Fast and Furious movie in theaters. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. And it's been a fun story to follow. I mean, I didn't really grow up on racing car media. That's just, or car races, generally speaking. I think it's more so the action thriller side that brings me in. And even just as a fan of relatable drama, the family vibe of what made this franchise so potent, I think, in the beginning, since its first entry, and all these years later, entries 7 and 8 being my favorite of the lineup. Furious 7 has a lot of claim, given the tragic passing of Paul Walker and how well that was showcased in a conclusion to his tenure in the movies. And a very, like I said, tragic one I don't think any of us would have desired, but that film, I think, is etched in people's minds. F8, I loved equally. F9 was a bit of I felt it kind of mimicked some of the ever previous movies, which is fine. I mean, these films, yes, they do envision themselves in terms of fresh glances time and time again, and sometimes they get even more outlandish, like in the last film we traveled to space. Anyway, where are we going to go with Fast X? I don't know. But it's been a fun franchise to follow. One of the longer-lasting franchises of what Hollywood has churned out over the last couple of years. And it's had a substantial run. I'm excited to continue on with it, even in its short window of time that we have left with the franchise as we know it with the main cast. I'm excited to watch it, though, and Fast X is bringing in a lot. I mean, even in some new faces. Jason Momoa's here, Brie Larson, who I like. I know she's got her critics, but I had a good impression of her based on Room. I thought that was a great movie. That's the first one I watched even before Captain Marvel. I'm excited to pop her in. I mean, I'm not a Brie stan, but there's certainly many of those on Twitter and social media, broadly speaking, but I like her work. I'm excited to see her enter this franchise. And all the main characters, and maybe I'm forgetting some new faces as well, but no, I already covered Jason Momoa. I think there may be one more face I'm thinking. I don't remember exactly. Maybe this franchise, or this particular trailer will remind me. Let's take a look at it, though. I'm curious to engage with it. I'm really looking forward, though, to the experience of being able to watch this in theaters with pretty much everybody, now calling myself an established and, publicly speaking, Fast and Furious fan. Let's take a look at this. And it's also coming, I have to say, this year's kind of interesting as well with all the Super Bowl trailers. These big advertisements are all coming out in advance. It still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I remember the years with the Super Bowl where all the trailers are coming out the day of, and it made the experience a little more fun. I'm thinking they'll probably have a TV spot that runs or something, but this trailer's popping up in advance. It's fun either way to cover it. I'm just kind of like, I would think it'd be better to put this in the mood of a Super Bowl. But that's just me. Anywho, Fast X. Let's take a look at it. A long trailer, by the way, about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Like the last one, if I remember, with F9.
It has been very hard. And yet here you are, building this magnificent family.
What's going on in that head of yours?
Something little piece of it. He said, Dad, they're not afraid of anything. Yeah. I'm afraid of losing someone I love.
Are we setting up a new franchise for like 10, 20 years later with the kids?
Dominic Toretto, you're about to learn all about fear. Boom. You built such a beautiful life, filled with love and family.
I never got that chance.
You stole that from me. My future.
Oh boy, this is going to be a bit of a tearjerker, isn't it? Very sentimental. I mean, if you're going to have creative way to weave in the flashbacks.
Break yours. Piece by piece.
I didn't think it'd be so explicit in terms of the resonation of past entries, but other than just a feeling and emotion, but
He's coming for you with everything.
What's the plan, Dom?
it's impressive. And this is very Jason Momoa, too. I'm so happy to see him again.
One of us might not come back from it,
Very talented actor.
but we have to fight.
too many can bang with us. Label us notorious.
It's a setup.
He's trying to tear us apart.
Our situation is type 1. What you gonna do? Fight or run?
Winning used to be about winning. We raced for respect. Today, I raced to stop the bloodbath.
That's the problem with having such a big family. How do you choose the ones you save?
Just as emotional as the past releases. It's great. Oh, nice! Jason Statham's back. Great.
You still know how to drive?
I was hoping we get to see some moments of that, because I mean, I don't know. Is Hobbs and Shaw 2 ever going to happen? If that's the name I was going by. I know that was one of the ones in development.
I'm coming for you, son.
These films constantly outdo themselves. They try. Good setup towards the end.
You gotta be kidding me.
But it is Charlize Theron, right? Well, she gets a little more to do. That's nice to see her back again as well. I know she was in the general casting. I was aware of that prior to going into this. I did admittedly kind of forget about it because that's more so a Jason Momoa-centric trailer. And if you liked Aquaman, or really any of his other action-type movies, Jason Momoa has quite a charm to him. I love watching him as an actor. I mean, it's very much a Jason Momoa-centric trailer. Like, every time he pops up with the characters' action sequences, it feels right in line of what you've seen, even if maybe it's a slim window. Feels exactly like a project that would include him. And he fits quite well in here. I mean, especially in regards to the backstory, there's a bit of a connection. I did not think they would be so explicit in regards to flashback sequences. But, I mean, you want to make this film a surreal experience. They've literally got Paul Walker in the trailer, too. I thought they probably would have saved that for the original movie, but no. I mean, they're open right in front about it. I mean, these trailers are always even a crowd pleaser, too. Like, the general movies that they evoke the tone of quite well. It's an experience. And it's one I'm looking forward to when this releases again in, oh, they didn't specify the release date on this trailer, I don't think. In cinemas soon. Okay, I forget it at the moment. If it's May or it's June, I think it's May. I think. Either way, it looks fun. Wherever it releases, I'm excited to be able to have my first experience in theaters. I'm going to try and make an effort to watch this one, unlike Fast 9 or F9. Again, the branding for this is all wonky, but I didn't have that experience in theaters. I know probably a lot of people did and probably enjoyed it. I'm excited for Fast X, though. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to watch it for myself and be able to publicly address myself as a Fast and Furious fan. Only took a while for me to get hooked on the franchise, publicly speaking. What are your thoughts on Fast X? It's probably, I'm sure, it's going to be many responses of, oh, it's like the same other Fast and Furious movies. Not to say, again, that's not good. The Fast and Furious line generally has been quite enjoyable, even if there is a connection point from project to project. They try and offer a sense of originality, but still very faithful to the type of envisionment that set it up originally. They're fun crowd pleasers for the summertime with a loaded cast. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to watch this for myself, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are down below, should you wish to disclose your perspective. Looks good. I'm looking forward to when, I think the springtime, I think it was May, for certain, when this releases. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. I'm expecting probably another trailer will roll around maybe in late March, early April. Looking forward to it. A lot of surprises, too. I didn't think Jason Statham was going to re-pop up. Now we just need Luke Evans, and I have seen rumors, by the way, that possibly Gal Gadot might make a reappearance. I mean, again, old rule of cinema. If you don't see a body, they ain't dead. Gal Gadot return. I'd love to see Gina Carano return too. I mean, she fell out of a plane. She could still be alive. I know there was chatter about that a while back from the rumors, which I don't think they went anywhere. But I mean, you're going to end your conclusion pretty soon. I mean, even Dwayne Johnson, if I guess they can work out that feud or whatever. Family always. You do hope to see maybe an entire reprisal, at least with everybody who could be alive, but I don't know. Either way, though, broadly speaking, even if none of those things come to fruition, other than Jason Statham, I'm so excited to see him again. This looks good. I'm looking forward to the springtime when this rolls around into theaters. Even if it is in concluding stages and it's the setup, like Mission Impossible, for example, it's very similar. Not just in the action tone, but I mean, each franchise is distinct in their own right, but both are concluding their runs. It's kind of bittersweet. But they're ending on a high note. At least from what I can see in the trailer, it looks like it's going to be a very promising springtime season in terms of cinematic viewing. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to watch this for myself in theaters. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.